That's the size I've been looking for. Right there, boys. Of course, I ain't got my net on me. What's going on, guys and girls? I'm Will. This is White Bison Outdoors, and today we're back on the Tuck a little farther down the Tuckasegee River. Still delayed harvest, still single hook, still artificial lure only. But I just stopped off the side of the road here. There's a little cut-in, little access point. I just wanted to test the water, so I got out with no camera, not even my phone on me, and took out the light rod with I think a 1/8 rooster tail on a light rod and a 1000 Shimano. And in 3 casts, I caught a brown trout, which you'll see here because I did end up walking up the bank to get my phone. But good size little brown trout, about 10 feet from me. So this area should be good to go. I wasn't planning on fishing here. I kind of found it as I was going down the road looking for another spot. We're going to see what happens here. Probably spend about an hour, and I'm going to kind of tour this area around Dillsboro, Silva, and Cullowhee. We're about to get into the water. Probably going to put on my waders and everything. Not that I'd really need them here, but I only have my full chest waders, and I didn't bring my other hip waders, so I'm just going to have to put the full kit on and see what happens. It's going to be fun. We're going to find some fish out here, and yeah, so come along. Okay, we're about to get going here. I got my bibs on, my new bibs, and my wading shoes. And as you can see here, we're going to be using this Berkeley lightning rod. It's a 5/6 light Shimano 1000. Some P-line 4-pound leader on, I think, 6-pound braid. And then this rooster tail salmon color, or brown trout, I think, color here. This color, brown and black, have been the ones that I've found the most success with. We also have a few other things here. We have Rapala here. I think on this I have a Meps and then a giant treble rooster tail. Unfortunately, because it's late harvest, I'm only going to be able to use single hook. So all my trebles I have set up, I'm not going to be able to use here. So I'm about to find somewhere else that I can use those today. But we'll see. So here we go. We're stepping in. This is near the water treatment plant here. But you can see up there on the tree, the white and black diamond, delayed harvest only. If you have a Mountain Heritage trout water license, it's also valid here on this section. So I'll talk more about that in a different video. But we're ready to go. So let's jump in. Right here is where I caught that first shot I showed you a second ago. I cast it, but maybe 30 feet right there. 1, 2, and then caught him right there, about 10 feet from me. First cast into the river here, I had a good sized trout chase it, just lure down. So they are in here and they're hungry. I mean, that's the second trout in about 4 casts. But I was trying to pull it in fast because I wanted to actually restart and have the video going. But we'll see if I can find them again. That's the bad part about doing videos, is you don't just come out here and fish. You got to make sure that everything's rolling. Well, he had it. They're like right in front of me just biting this thing. Golly. They're ready to go. Well, the problem I have now is that this lure might be a little too heavy for this. It's really shallow, so I'm having to drag it pretty quickly. Maybe I can go upstream and try and cast it down, see if I can get something. I'm actually going to trim this marabou tail off the back of this thing a little bit. I think they're just grabbing this. All right, we've trimmed down the marabou tail on this rooster, and we'll see what that does for us. All right, well, we have moved locations. I just made a horrible cast, and I was just trying to reel it in as fast as possible, and somehow that netted me a nice little, oh gosh, get in there, nice little, what do we got here? Brown trout. So I guess you just never know when you're going to catch something. Come on, buddy. All right, let me grab my forceps. Literally the worst forceps in the world. All right. There we go. From the light there. Nice little brown trout. Here we go. 2 for the day. Okay, well, I guess they are biting. A silver. I have never had any luck with a silver, but the brown was not bringing up anything for me, so we switched over. See what we do. Flipping wind. As soon as I went to cast, the wind just killed me. Okay, we are in the same spot here below the bridge by the church, and I threw that silver spinner, only caught 1 out of here. That was right away. So I switched over to a type of trout magnet. I think they call it Trout Slayer. It's a little crawdad, and I know that there's some over there in that hole. I'll see if I can drift this down in there and get a bite. Look at that. Look at that. Right off the bat. He's a tiny guy, but right off the bat. Dang, I left my... Oh, no, I didn't. Right off the bat. Caught him with a little crawdad. Come on, buddy. No, they're not that deep. Little rainbow. Gosh, okay. It's a beautiful little rainbow. He's real nice. Got a good color. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. Real pink there in the gills. It's cool. Alright, well, it's 3 for the day. And that was the first cast in about 5 seconds with this little Trout Slayer crawdad. Just let it drift down a little bit. Current's basically taking it along. Once the slack's out, just pop it backwards and it looks just like a little crawdad swimming backwards like they do. Look at that. Look at that. Gosh, he was on there too. All right, well, that was definitely a bite. I didn't get it hooked up, but dang, these little dudes are legit. Gotcha. That thing works like a charm. Just jig it around a little bit. And boom, you're gonna have yourself a little rainbow. All right, buddy. All right, you're not gonna hook me. Okay. All right, here we go. Another rainbow. It's good. Well, I know that the little Trout Slayer crawdad thing works. I think I just bent the frick out of my hook though, trying to get that out of his mouth. That hook's frail. Don't have a whole lot of luck with the... Gosh, that thing's bent. Trout magnets, but these guys work. Oh, my reel's jacked up, so I'm pulling this one in by hand. What do I got? I think I got a brook. I think I got a brook. Yeah, I do. Beautiful, man. Oh, I love brook trout. All right, buddy. I know your feelings are hurt, but hey, it happens. Everybody gets caught once in a while. All right, sweet. My line's all jacked up, but got a brook trout. You can't get away, buddy. All right. Line stuck everywhere. There it is. Beautiful brook trout. Slimy as frig. All right. So I found just letting it drift down and pulling it manually with your hand works great until you try to reel and there's hardly any weight on the line and the reel just gets jacked up. And I got a mess here, so I gotta sort this out. Hey, but I caught a fish. All right, so after a morning of not hardly catching anything, I have started to use this trout slayer crawdad and trout magnet float. Caught a brook, a couple rainbows just in the last 30 minutes since I started using it. So I got one on the first cast. So I think it's looking pretty good. And I've been doing this. It's just easier to control, but then it wraps up your line, so I guess that's not a good thing to do. All right, so we've been everywhere, man, all over the place, and I haven't caught anything. We had a couple of different river access points, and just nothing in the hatchery supported part, which I was hoping I would get something, you know, fairly large, since I have a bunch of trebles I just bought, but nothing. So I'm going to be back here on the tuck where I've been before, above where I started here before, and then work my way down, I think, even though it's kind of backwards normally, but I haven't thrown anything in this upper portion, so we're going to try that, see what we got. All right, buddy. Another good. I think that's a brown. That's a brown. Golly, you guys got some teeth now. All right. So here we go. Nice little brown. Looking good. Like, subscribe to the channel so we'll stop catching us. There we go. He got behind that rock. He was a little tired out. All right, good. It's working. That's the size I've been looking for. Right there, boys. Of course, I ain't got my net on me. All right, Mr. Rainbow, you're gonna come with me. Back over here. Don't go nowhere. All right, here we go. All right, so as usual, when you're not prepared, you catch the best fish. Hopefully I got most of that catch recorded. I didn't have my net. My camera was running out of battery. Had to pull out my phone, take a picture of it. So hopefully I can get another one and document the whole thing. Let's go for it. That one was probably 16 inches, something like that. We'll see. They're going to be aggressive in this current. If they see something, they're probably not going to think about it too much. So that probably works to my advantage. Definitely a bigger lure catches bigger fish. Of course, now I got everything going, he ain't gonna bite. Now I caught someone else's fishing rig. Fishing up here with something they're not supposed to be fishing with. Interesting. Don't treble hook me with your rusty trebles. We've moved back up to where I was the very first time I came to the Tuck. And I just had a bite. My drag was too low. Popped off. But I have faith that I'm about to make a big catch. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna yank his lips off. It's feast or famine, man. It's just feast or famine. 1 minute you're hauling in a 16-inch trout, the next you're 15 casts, 20 casts, 30 casts in, and you got nothing. I'm recording this just in case I fall in and survive. It might make a good video. Current's pretty swift. My lure is wrapped up in a tree. I don't know how deep it is underneath this. How do these things get so wrapped up? You know, sometimes you should really look before you leap. And I just stepped down into this new spot. Probably another trout the size of what I caught earlier, or bigger, just swam out from right here, a foot away, or not foot away, 3 feet away from the bank. Yep. Interesting. All right, so I switched over to my small pole just for the heck of it. End of the day, sun's going down. You can see that. I actually just went below the cloud. First cast, got me a good size little female brook. All right. Sun setting. Picked up one more little brook trout. Beautiful. All right. Well, that's a good picture right there. All right, let's see if something else out there is hungry for our little lure. Yep, here they are in this hole. Look at that. 2 in a row. What I got now? Rainbow, brown. If you stop jumping around, I can tell. 2 in a row, man. Wham bam. Apparently, the green color I was using only worked for a little while. Plus, how big it was. Maybe just too big for most of the fish out here. I'm thankful I caught that one big rainbow, but it looks like he was the exception. All right, sweet. I guess I'm gonna have to call last cast here. Because otherwise I'm just gonna be out here pulling on this slot machine all day. Good thing I don't gamble, because I would be in trouble. Well, it's a little dangerous trying to walk back. I can't see anything with the glare. Oh gosh. It's never the last cast. right? That's it. My hands are cold. All right, guys, that's my New Year's trip that yielded my personal best on the river, a 17.5-ish looking rainbow trout after I measured out what this measurement was and went through my picture and kind of figured out how big it was. I obviously did not have what I needed when I stepped into the river. I just want to kind of test out what I was using, which was a Koi 1/4 rooster tail and chartreuse. I just threw it out in the middle of the river, started reeling it in, and bam! My biggest trout that I've caught so far. And yeah, so I guess it goes to show you that you ought to always be prepared. And I was not. Didn't have my net, didn't have anything on me, just the rod. Stepped in just to see kind of what happened. And hey guys. So my kid's over here looking at me through the window, making faces and asking me questions. I better go. Yeah, so like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Remember, keep it clean, keep it open. And as always, remember, adventure favors the bold. So be bold this year, make some new decisions, get out there, do something that you've never done before, and maybe you'll end up with your personal best in whatever your goals are. See you guys.